the look, cable, and it was the promo going from you being encouraged to just go out there and make your personality come out to being told what to say. To me, I would imagine that would have been the toughest transition for guys that worked in the 70s and 80s coming up to the 90s and the thousands is kind of having their tongue clipped.
Yeah. When we went to back to Turner in '96, we said whatever the fuck they didn't tell us anything. I mean, you could have somebody write something down for 3 weeks. We weren't gonna say any of it. Our number one thing was always this. They'd always want to do this, like, it would be like the Outsiders versus Steiners. And so the Steiners would go out and get in the ring, and they'd go on by script and say, "You know what? You guys, there's no reason to wait till Sunday. Let's do it right now." And then we'd come out, we go, "Well, we're in no hurry, so we'll just do this on Sunday." And then turn around and just walk back, and they'd be like, "That's not what well, we can't go back out there now, it's" but we always used to say that. Yeah, I remember one time Scott actually broke it down to the point of, "Well, it's like a lot of people are gonna buy the pay-per-view to watch our match, so, like, from a company standpoint, wouldn't it make more sense if we, like, made you pay for it instead of giving it free tonight?" And then when you come through the curtain, you just look at 'em like this. And they're like, "You 2 dicks."
Did you guys it was always from the fans' perspective, it was always fun when you guys hit the ring and did those long promos with Eric,
Yeah,
later on with Eric, because there was that sense that anything could happen almost. So it was very obvious, I think, it was to me and probably all fans, that nothing was scripted beyond whatever the point was of the
right.
promo that night. I could tell that anything could be said out there, and I'd see you guys crack up, and it was great to have that. But, but that was probably the end of it, right? But now
Like,
Eric, who loved, I think anyway, from what I know of Eric, loved going out there with you guys because you could go anywhere with it, right? I mean, with the promo, I mean, anything that
yeah,
you could have fun with it. Now he's in the middle now because as a thing, he made the journey to WWE. So now he's in a position where things are going to be scripted, and he's worked with you guys extensively, made a ton of money, like revitalized the company, and now he's got to stand by and be part of the machine that's going to hand you a script. Did he ever privately say to you, Kevin, like change anything you want, or
no, because at that point, it was just it was almost like after 3 or 4 times of you doing your own shit, even though it might have been better, they didn't care because
mm,
to them, it was huge not being a good soldier,
mm,
It was just like so. And like I've always said, man, I don't have a problem. Like that, the piece of artwork behind me is original, but I'm sure that she wouldn't have a problem, doing print to canvas and selling those for $1,000 if there was a market for it.
so you're saying that
It's
compromising the art for commerce is going pro
yeah, exactly. I mean,
in a way.
it's, and I understand because the thing is that there's a lot of people that have been broken in, and they've been broken into being handed a script. So we were just talking early before we started the show. We were talking about you were talking about Matthew Perry saying that when he worked on that Sorkin Studio 60 or whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that like, you couldn't even take a pregnant pause in your line without Sorkin. I said, no, that's not there.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, I remember working on Rock of Ages with Paul Giamatti, and the guy just said, I just ad lib some shit right there. And he kind of walked away from Paul. And I just looked at Paul, and I saw Paul kind of have this perplexed look. And he said, man, he said, I could fucking sit here and do the Gettysburg's address forward and backwards. He said, I can do Adams. He said, you give me, 18 paragraphs. He says, ad lib? He said, that's not, I said, well, thank God you got me here because I got nothing to do but think about shit because I got no lines. So I said, here, let me throw you some. So he'd get up there, I'd throw him a line. It was just like, I can't do what, I can't do the Gettysburg Express or Gettysburg, uh,
Address.
yeah, address. But, I said, I can definitely come up with just some bullshit to throw into a movie.
But see, now movies were always scripted, and if you had a director that was
Yeah.
amenable to it, you could work off the script. You talked about doing a lot of ad libbing in Longest Yard, right?
Uh,
But wrestling was always improvisation, and then suddenly there's writing. And when Russo, what about when Russo was there? What was how
Bullet
much did
points?
he? It was just bullet points. He
Yeah,
didn't
bullet
want you to
points.
stick to
No,
okay.
no, because he knew he knew the flavor he wanted. But he wasn't gonna write your shit. Like I remember when I came back and they would be like, and one of those writers would come up to me in WWE and they'd be like, "So I was looking at some old Diesel interviews you did." And I'd be like, what? Like those were fine. Like those are rotten. Those are. I mean, uh, and I- I'm thinking along that line, but just not so much dialogue. Oh, so you want me to sit here and get buried by Punk? I got it. Yeah,
You were there in an interesting time, and you saw the change. You saw
yeah, I saw it. And the
that
thing was,
changeover.
and it was the only time that I really just said, you know what, fuck it, just take the money. I did it when they handed me the Oz gimmick, and Sullivan looked at me and goes, I said, Kevin, I don't get it. I don't get what the fuck this is. He goes, brother, it's called take the fucking money. And I was just like,
Yeah, sure.
so,
I mean, you're paid to do a job.
yeah.
You're paid to.
So Kevin, it doesn't bother you that we're wearing the same rubber masks? Not a bit, brother. Now shut up and pass the joint. Never.
But like you said before, it wasn't about them needing it. It was about controlling the message and keeping it
And
sanitized.
because the other person was already a drone. So if you said they're waiting for you to say Summers at SummerSlam and you never get there, you're still burying them an hour later. They're sitting there going, SummerSlam. When is he going to say SummerSlam? I know I say so. My
plug the
lines
show,
after
plug the show,
SummerSlam.
plug the show. Yeah.
My lines after SummerSlam.
Well, if you had Vince on headset, someone would be being screamed at.
Yeah, but you wouldn't get you
To
get
get
hollered at. You get hollered at when you come back, and that was
Oh, when you're
always
in there, you don't
no,
get fed anything ever by
no,
the ref. Nothing. There's
nothing.
someone. Nothing.
No, they might tell you go home. Like you guys are long.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time we were doing a TV taping, and we weren't the last. We weren't the last segment, and I remember the referee came over and buzzed me, and then Sean came over to tag me, and I said, "They said go home." He goes, "Fuck them, we're not last." Like, let them work. Let them cut the 3 minutes out of their match.
Amazing. Different time.
Yeah.
Different time,